We're going to look at Classwork 6. Before we begin, we've got Classwork 5. We can see under here, Year 10 IGS in Tutorials. Come up to File, New Design, and here we have our Untitled Design. So we're going to click Save to start with. I'm going to call it Classwork 6. Classwork 6. Select Save. That will come up in our data panel over here. It won't have any image there because there is nothing modeled yet. Okay, so I'm just going to close that data panel, give us a little bit more space to work with. And I'm going to go up and create a new sketch. We're going to go with a sketch from A. I'm going to call A the front. So back over to our navigation cube, I'm going to select front and then select our drawing plane. To start off with, we're going to draw a rectangle. So after rectangle, just going to start in the center here. We've got our rectangle is 19 millimeters thick. This comes straight off our plan. Tab to change our dimension, and 100 long. I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to finish the sketch, and we're going to extrude it. So I'm going to pull that back. We need to extrude that 45. Again, that's from the plan. And we're going to select OK. So we have the base of our item. There's a few things we need to do to it before we move on with the sort of more vertical section out there at the top. So I'm going to select that front face. I'm going to put another sketch on there. I'm going to go with another rectangle at the back here. That rectangle comes up 6 and goes along, so tab along 63. I'm going to put that one in there, finish the sketch, select it, E for extrude, and we want to extrude that the full thickness, okay, which is 45. So in here, minus 45 will give us that full depth we want to cut. I'm going to select OK. So if we have a bit of a look, we've just cut the back out in here. Okay, a few other things we've got to do. We've got to put a hole up in the top here, and actually a couple of holes. So we're going to select that surface. I'm going to put a sketch on there. Okay, our hole's got to go up this end. And we have to find the middle of our hole. Okay, so the middle of our hole comes in 19 in either direction. So I'm going to start with a rectangle from the front corner here. I'm going to go 19, tab 19. That gives us the center point of our circles. Now our circles are center point circles, so we're going to go with C for center. The first is 10. Second circle there is 20. And we need to extrude these at different levels. Okay. Now the last circle is actually a radius of 19, and we can do that on that edge once we're finished. So I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. I'm going to trim out the lines that I don't want, the ones that I've used just as construction lines. And I'm going to finish that sketch. I'm then going to select extrude, and I want to extrude our 10 millimeter circle all the way through our item here, so that goes down 19. We get that from our original dimension. Okay. I then need to come back over to sketches on the left hand side here because you can see our lines disappeared. And I want to turn on that last sketch that we just completed, and I want to extrude or select now our outside ring here, E for extrude, and that one comes down and cuts in 6 millimeters. So -3, we're going to change to -6. I'm going to click OK. if we then turn off our sketch, we can now see we've got a circle sort of step in there and a hole going right the way through, which is what we're after. The last thing we need to do on this sort of more base piece is select that front edge, come up to fillet, and we're going to fillet that by 19 millimeters either way. Okay, radius of 19, and select OK. Let's just fit that to our screen here, and you can see what we've done. Okay, next I'm going to select this first face, and I'm going to add another sketch. We've already sketched once on here. I'm going to sketch again. This time we're going with another rectangle from the top left hand corner here, and we're going to sketch that 19 wide and 38 long. And that's going to go in on this side. I'm going to press enter there. Now this we need to extrude up to find our top. So we're going to finish sketch. I then want to select that sketch. So I'm just going to turn on the sketches there. I want to actually just select that part. Okay, now this has to be a total height of 76. 76, take away the 19 that we've already done in here. 76, take away 19. If we do 76, take away 20, we get 56. We add 1 because we only want to take away 19, and we end up with 57. So we're going to extrude this up 57, which will give us a total height. We can join, that's fine, we're only making the one component. So let's zoom out there. If we want to check, we can go to the inspect tool, select measure, go from the top edge to the bottom. Oh, we've done something wrong there, it's only 70. So we need to go a further 6 millimeters. So let's go down, edit our extrusion. So we're going to right click on there, we want to edit the feature. And we want to go another 6 millimeters higher than that, so 63. Click join. Let's just check again with the measure tool. Top to bottom, 76. So we're now correct. Press escape, and we can start to model now on this surface. Okay, we're going to start with finding the middle. And we want a radius of 19, so I'm going to select that surface. We're going to put a sketch on there. Might zoom in a little bit. I'm going to start with the rectangle tool, go in 19, down 19, which will find the middle for us. C for circle. Our first circle is going to be 38. Our second circle in the middle here is actually 13. Now we then have a distance between the center points of our circle, so I'm going to go with a line dropping straight down, and that drops down 19. So to the edge of our outer circle here, we're going to put our second circle, again 13. And we're going to do some trimming before we do anything else. So T for trim. You want to trim out some of these lines we do not need. might leave that one on the outside there. That's going to come in handy. Trim that one out. I'm now going to add some parallel lines. I want these to be tangent lines on our circle, and they need to go from the very left-hand side, which we've got marked here, straight down until we see the tangent mark there, and we're going to select that one. Second line, we don't actually have a halfway line through here, but it's going to give us and indicate the first point there anyway. We're dragging that straight down again and placing that one in there. Last but not least, again, we want to trim the inside of these shapes so we have our oval shape in the center and our circle shapes on the outside. I am just going to put in another quick rectangle from the middle, coming out 19. We're then going to trim off the excess in here, and that's actually going to isolate this shape as well. So we can now finish that sketch and extrude. So we can click finish, or we can just press E for extrude. I then want to select first the inside shape, then our outside triangles. Now the only reason we can select those is because we've put our extra lines in across the top. I want to extrude those back through our object. We're going to cut right through that object, 19 millimeters. We can type it in there as well if we want to. And we're going to click OK. The last thing we want to do is put our triangle piece in. So we're going to rotate around to the back. I'm going to select the back face here, and I want to put another sketch on here. Now, the easiest way really to go about doing this, we're going to go with line. We want to point from the top left corner here to a tangent here. So we need to get the tangent symbol, okay, which is the line across the top of the circle there. We're going to click that in. Once we've clicked that, we can press E for extrude. We want to select our new plane here. We want to go below our surface, so I might just move that a little. And we're going minus 10 millimeters. This is then going to finish our item. You can see with the preview there. We're going to click join and OK. We now have Classwork 6 modeling complete. The last thing we want to do is actually change the material it's made out of and make it into a cast iron bracket. So I'm going to turn the sketches off. I'm going to double click on our item to select the whole item. Right click on your mouse, we want to go up to physical material. Our dialog box opens up. We want to select metal, okay, which is what cast iron is. We then need to come in our lists, we're going to scroll right down till we find the right material. Iron cast is what we're after. We're going to grab that, I'm going to drop that onto our item and click close. That then gives us the correct material for that bracket. Click save and OK, and that one is complete.